right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
We begin with breaking news out of the Central West End. That's where crews spent the night battling this massive fire at a longtime puppetry theater. Now at 10, the flames are out, but the investigation is just getting started. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Fire crew showed up to Kramer's Marionettes just before 8 tonight, and it's been a fixture in St. Louis for more than 4 decades. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend joins us live from the scene right now. Robert, even though that fire is out, I still see a lot of work happening behind you.
Yeah, a lot of smoke is definitely billowing from this fire. I got to tell you, officially, though, the fire department spokesperson has not told me that all of the flames are out. Obviously, they're worried about hot spots possibly rekindling, but take a look back there and you can see firefighters are still back there in that dark area there, high atop the ladders that are attached to their pumper trucks. For the past 2 hours, we've been watching them fighting this fire. They've been hitting it from every angle. Again, the good news is that we're not seeing any flames as of right now. But again, I got to tell you, shortly before 8 tonight, the 2-alarm fire call went out here at Bob Kramer's Marionettes. This is happening in the 4100 block of Laclede in the Central West End. At least 60 firefighters initially arrived and immediately started fighting this fire, again, hitting it from every angle. Firefighters went inside and found a disoriented Bob Kramer. They put him on a stretcher and paramedics rushed him to a hospital. The good news is that they tell us is that Kramer did not suffer any injuries, serious injuries, no burns whatsoever. He did suffer some minor smoke inhalation. Again, they rushed him to a hospital just to be checked out. Now, a second person, neighbors believe may be Bob Kramer's partner right now, is still unaccounted for.
There's a gift shop, there's a theater, there's a workshop. So it's kind of hard for me to specifically tell you because I don't know, but just a lot of different components. You're running a theater on the first floor, living quarters, if you will, on the second floor from what I know right now.
Just a very popular puppet theater that's been in St. Louis again for almost 50 years. Anybody who knows this area knows this place, a place that sadly went up in flames. Again, firefighters are telling us right now they have no idea where the fire started, nor do they know what sparked it. We do know they're going to be here for quite some time. We're live in the Central West End. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on Your Side.
All right, Robert, thanks for that report. Developing today, an Illinois judge issues a temporary restraining order against the state's new assault weapons ban. The ruling means 4 gun stores and hundreds of gun owners in this lawsuit can now immediately buy and sell assault weapons. Former Republican candidate for Attorney General Thomas DeVore represents the plaintiffs. He explains the key point that worked in his client's favor.
The judge also said that equal protection is violated because they carved out large categories of individuals based on their profession and said you can retain these rights intact and it only applies to the rest of the citizenry. And the judge says that didn't work as well.
Governor J.B. Pritzker said in part, this decision is not surprising. Although disappointing, it is the initial result we've seen in many cases brought by plaintiffs whose goal is to advance ideology over public safety. As for the next step, a hearing on a preliminary injunction is set for February 1st, and we'll be following that for you. Tonight, one of the 5 inmates who escaped from the St. Francis County Jail is back in custody. Police found Michael Wilkins this morning in Poplar Bluff. He was being held on burglary and probation violation charges. Investigators are still looking for the other 4 escapees. 3 of them have a history of sex crimes. All of them are considered to be dangerous. A man is dead tonight after a multi-car crash involving a stolen car in South City. It happened just after 12:30 on South Broadway and River City Casino Boulevard. We're told a St. Louis County police officer tried to stop a stolen Hyundai when it took off into the city limits. That's when it crashed into a Chevy Camaro and a Ford Fiesta. The driver of that Camaro died on scene. Police say 1 person in the Hyundai ran away. 3 other people were taken to the hospital. Well, 5 on Your Side is getting answers after Ferguson neighbors complained about a sinkhole in their neighborhood. Neighbors say it appeared after a water main break nearly a month ago on Royal Avenue. After we started asking questions, today, Missouri American water crews started repairing that sinkhole. The work was done within hours of our calls. People who live there say this is a matter of safety.
We're worried about people hitting it and then like rearing into one of our car or like into the yard because people are going so fast. And once you hit that hole, you can kind of like hit air, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Missouri American Water says a permanent repair can take up to 90 days, but that will depend on the weather. Speaking of weather, let's go ahead and get your weather first forecast. Tonight, temperatures are dropping. Meteorologist Jim Castillo now with what we can expect for the weekend, Jim.
Brent, temperatures are going to be the coldest we've been in about a week, but it was a really mild week, so overnight lows tonight pretty much average. We're falling into the 20s where it's clear, and then where it's still cloudy, which is mainly the Illinois side, we still have temperatures in the 30s, but high pressure keeps us dry tonight. And there it is on the satellite radar shot. You draw a line right there where we're still seeing on the right side in Illinois, cloudy, and then mainly clear on the Missouri side. So eventually all of us clear, and we'll drop into the 20s for everyone tonight, even St. Louis down to 26. And look north and west. We have a winter weather advisory, not for our area, but north of Kansas City, St. Joe, expecting 1 to 2 inches of snow there. For us, it is a mix of rain and snow, and it arrives later tomorrow evening into tomorrow night with very little, if any, accumulation. But there are some spots that we'll be watching, and I'll outline those coming up in just a bit, plus another storm in next week.
All right, Jim, we'll see you shortly. Well, a South St. Louis Catholic school is actually closing. This is in the county. The St. Louis Archdiocese said today St. Mark is shutting down at the end of the school year due to declining enrollment. The Archdiocese will help faculty, staff, and students find a new school. The spokesperson says the closure is not part of the All Things New restructuring plan. Well, President Biden is under investigation for his handling of classified materials while he was vice president. That's drawing comparisons to a similar investigation of former President Trump. But whereas Trump claimed he was president could declassify documents, some argue that isn't a power Biden would have had as VP. Casey Decker with our National Verified team breaks it all down.
Classified documents from Joe Biden's time as vice president have been found in his Delaware home and an old office in D.C. The documents weren't supposed to be stored there under law, prompting a Justice Department investigation. Former President Trump is also under investigation for taking classified documents home with him, though he has since claimed he declassified them. Critics of President Biden say that's not a defense he can use here because a vice president can't declassify information. Verify viewer Ray wanted to know if that's true, so Ray, let's verify. Our sources, Executive Order 13526 and Kel McClanahan, a lawyer who specializes in national security.
There is absolutely zero truth to that claim.
In 2009, President Obama signed an executive order that specifies who's allowed to classify and declassify stuff. It explicitly gives the president and vice president the authority to classify any document. And when it comes to declassifying, it identifies 4 kinds of people who have that authority. The person who originally classified it, their successor, their boss, or a delegate assigned by the head of their agency. In other words, if the VP originally classified a document, the order gives them explicit authority to declassify it. As for documents originally classified by someone else, the president and vice president oversee all executive branch agencies, so they count as a boss here and therefore have the authority to declassify.
It's been a long-standing practice in the executive branch to say that the vice president has delegated authority from the president and should be treated as pretty much the same. So anything the president can declassify, the vice president can declassify.
The only exceptions are certain information dealing with nuclear secrets, which are governed by a separate law, and any instance where the president explicitly forbids the VP from declassifying a piece of information, meaning we can verify, yes, the vice president can declassify information. But it's worth noting, unlike Trump, Biden has so far not claimed that he declassified the documents found in his home. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
And we're always looking for ideas for Verify. If you have something for us to look into, go ahead and email us at verify@ksdk.com. We'll be right back. Well, we're looking at a wintry mix tomorrow night and, Jim, possibly some snow next week.
Yeah, Wednesday's the day that we're really watching for sure. So that system taps into the Gulf of Mexico, and even colder air comes in. Tomorrow night's system is interesting. More on that coming up. But it's 32 now. That's the new low of the day. 37 was a high, but the wind has gotten much calmer. So it's going to be a cold night where it's clearing. It's already clearing from St. Louis south and westward. Illinois side takes a little bit longer to clear. But here's that first system we're watching for tomorrow night. Low pressure now moving just to the east of, really west of Amarillo. Here's Lubbock, there's Amarillo there. So it's about 700, 800 miles away from Memphis. It's moving toward Memphis, so it'll pass to our south. And as that happens, this moisture that moves in here, you see that's kind of limited. It's not really tapping into the Gulf of Mexico either, but enough lift in here to where we're going to see that futurecast show some rain, that's green, and then also a little bit of snow coming in here. But check out these temperatures at 8:05 p.m. well above the freezing mark. So this is why we're not expecting widespread travel issues, at least with this system coming in tomorrow night. But still some snow showers and rain showers mixed, and there could be some minor accumulations out there. So especially north of Interstate 70, what we're thinking is that anywhere you see the light blue could be up to a half an inch of snow, even our southern counties or even east of St. Louis, but only up to a trace around the metro. So not a big deal, limited travel issues with tomorrow night's system into early Sunday. But here's Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Again, this system's going to be colder, and it's tapping into the Gulf of Mexico, so more moisture is available, and that chance of seeing some snow showers really popping in here quickly. Right after that rain starts, it changes or mixes in, and then by midnight on, all the way through Wednesday morning, look at all this snow activity. A lot of the models now indicating that some accumulation is going to be likely, so something we'll watch. Here's that first batch of energy that gives us enough lift pushing through here this weekend, and that second system, there it is, coming in here for Tuesday night into Wednesday. So here's the 10-day forecast. We're in the 40s, too. That's a big thing about this weekend. It's well above freezing, except for late tomorrow night into early Sunday. That's when we can see some slippery spots. And then for Monday, we're dry. Tuesday, 45 before that rain changes to snow. And then we're watching Wednesday carefully. And after that, it's just winter. We're in the 30s.
Yeah, sometimes I think we forgot it really is January. It is winter.
Yeah, we've lucked out so far.
Thank you much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Corey Miller standing by with 5 on your sideline.